Today is a very special day. Today I feel like a jungle cat because today I'm riding the Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Pro. Oh yeah. I'm giggling like a giggling thing, a giggling squid, a Cheshire cat. I'm smiling like. This is, I've got to say, an awesome bike. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're all well. So as you know, I'm still looking for a new bike potentially to swap my Harley Davidson. Got to be touring, got to be commuter capable, have boxes on the back, be comfortable, all that kind of stuff. Good people at Triumph have let me ride this Tiger 1200 GT Pro, which is a road version, if you like, of their ADV bike. Why am I test riding this? Well, I like ADV bikes. I think they're great all-round bikes anyway, so in many ways it ticks lots of boxes. But aesthetics wise, looks wise, I've never really cared for them, if you know what I mean. They are what they are. However, I also know that it would suit my purpose brilliantly, right? Okay, that being said, I've kind of got a bit of a leaning towards these because I owned the 2 generations before this bike, the Triumph Explorer as it was then, and that was a fantastic bike. But this now is lighter, it's more powerful, faster, more nimble, and it's just great. These bikes now, the Tiger 1200s, now come with this kind of preload adjustment system, which is basically just like the Pan America from Harley Davidson, that adaptive rider height, where it lowers it as you're, you know, coming to a stop, or you can actually set it to a certain speed. I think it's below 50 miles an hour. It'll automatically start reducing the height of the bike just via the suspension, and then it'll lift it back up again as you increase past 50 miles an hour. It's just in case you suddenly come to a stop, whatever. Now, of course, what you can also do, just lower the seat height on this as well, which this is on a lower setting, which I don't really need, but it's actually really comfortable. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with this bike. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with it. On these back roads, on a straight road, you know, you put it in sport mode, it's just bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. When I rode the KTM Super Adventure a couple of weeks ago, I thought, wow, that power on that is amazing. And it's exactly the same in many ways as the Ducati Multistrada. They're at that level of super powered ADV bikes. This is in that bracket. There's probably these 3 manufacturers have got that. BMW don't have that right now, but they're bringing out the GS 1300 and they're going to be bringing it out for 2024. That's going to be in that bracket, I'm sure of it. I have no doubt about it. But that bike is great as a straight road, great in the bends. It rolls, it kind of glides into the roll. It's fantastic. I can see myself on that bike, definitely. My only problem is that I've already owned a Triumph. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of want something different. But the bike is brilliant. It's got the 3, it's actually got 4 modes. It's got road, rain, sport, and a customizable one. You can take off traction control or adjust it. You know, so many modifications on it. It comes in 2 variants, if you like. You got the GT Pro, or the GT Pro, which is the higher spec one. Then you've got basically the GT Explorer, which is essentially exactly the same bike but with a bigger fuel tank. I think it's 30-litre fuel tank for longer distance riding, which is going to suit me, right? Just like the BMW GS Adventure. But it also comes with heated seats as standard, whereas this just comes with heated grips as standards, right? So for all year round riding, for winter riding, I would definitely lean towards the Explorer for me. I can't fault the bike. Triumph, thumbs up, I've got to say. And I felt like this before with Triumphs. They just make good bikes. They just make great bikes, and these bikes are just brilliant. Can I see myself on this again, you know, with the boxes and everything? With the top box, I can definitely, and it's just the ergonomics of it just work. Mine had an electric windscreen. They've all kind of done away with that now because it just kind of adds weight to the bike, so it's manual and it works well. The screen is really bright. It just pops up information. There's so many. The problem is, on a first test ride, there's so many buttons, so many screens to go through, but all the information is there. The quick shifter on this, you've got to time it just right, because otherwise, if it's not quite at the revs, or you're going up through the revs and pinging it, it seems to work so much better when you're pinging the throttle. When you're kind of just idling the throttle, it kind of snaps up. When you're pinging the throttle, it glides up, goes ping, 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 and then coming down, roll off the throttle, ping, 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 comes down. But when you're at that lowest speed, yeah, I found myself grabbing for the clutch a lot more. It seems to work better when you're doing, you know, that, and you want to slow down at the same time. But that's just me. It could be completely brilliant, just haven't got used to it yet. And that's the same with all these bikes, isn't it? You've got to get used to them. I love the overall look and feel of this bike. It's just whether I can see myself on it on a daily basis. And the answer is yes, I can, because I've owned one before and I thought it was a great bike. I thought at the time I was just looking for something different. I was really unfortunate with my last Triumph, because it was 2015, 2016, and the next year or the year after, they bought out the previous generation to this, the Tiger 1200. So all of a sudden, the values of those bikes just suddenly plummeted. So I was left in a bit of a dilemma. Do I stick with the bike, or do I sort of trade it in whilst it's got some more value? And that's what I did. I ended up going for the Harley Davidson in the end, because that's what I was, you know, wanting for anyway. But I wasn't going to do it at that stage. I was going to do it a year later. But my hand was forced, really. But the bike itself that I was riding was great. That bike is even better. Well, it's 3 times better, let's say, 3 times better. If you're looking for a high performance or high powered ADV bike and you want the road variant, look at the Ducati Multistrada, look at the KTM Super Adventure, and look at this one. Definitely look at this one. It's whether you like the style, that's the thing. I keep on going on about, oh yeah, it's got to be commutable, it's got to be, you know, touring, it's got to, you know, all these kinds of things, right? And you can't ignore what's staring you right in the face. That does it all. That does it all. With power, with performance power. It's going to be comfortable, especially with a top box. You can get a pad for the top box, so whoever's sat on the rear with you, your partner, you know, they're comfortable leaning back as well. The box is, it's going to be super utility, which I love. It's raised up, you're sat up high on the road. Everything on that bike tells me it's a buy. It's definitely a buy for me. But you know what I'm going to say? I'm just not sure I want an ADV bike or ADV style bike. That's where I'm at. I'm just not sure. The bike is great, faultless, cannot say how good it is, but I'm just not sure whether I want that bike, or whether I can see myself on that bike, because I've already had one and I knew what I was doing with it and what I wasn't doing with it. So if I'm just road riding, then I'm not sure I want an ADV bike, if you know what I mean. But if I want something that's a bit more off-road capable, then I think I'm going to go for the Rally, the 1200 Rally Pro, which I'm going to go and test ride now. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. So all I can say is the Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Pro, I think it's a brilliant bike. And I put it at the same level as that KTM Super Adventure. Personally, I would go for the bigger tank, because I like doing longer distances in one hit. I like not having to refuel as often. If I'm ever getting back into my endurance rides, I want to go for longer distances and be stuck in the saddle for longer. I know that's kind of, you know, goes against the grain a little bit, but I just want to be rolling, keep on rolling. When I was doing my endurance rides, I always say the most important thing is just to keep on rolling, keep on munching up the miles. And with a bigger fuel tank, you do that. So that's where I would go. But anyway, listen, I rode a Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Pro and I'm really impressed, but I'm just not sure that variant is for me, and that is the honest truth, as is always the case, I hope. Right, I'm going to have a bit more fun on this whilst I got it, and I'll catch you again in another video coming very soon. Ta-da.